Nuwaubians are now supporting the LGBT movement and in fact will be participating in the up and coming gay parade. What are your thoughts on that? Is that smart to be a part of the movement when the leader of the Nuwaubian nation is sitting in jail for charges of such, etc.? What do you think about that, being that you representing right now?
All I can say is that as Nuwaubians, we don't preach anti-gay or anti-anything because we understand everything. We understand everybody's way of life. But as far as going to the parade, I don't know nothing of that, so I can't speak of nothing that I don't know of personally myself, you know what I'm saying? So I can't be held accountable for something that I don't know myself, But that's fair.
True me to cause and peace in war terms. What we're going to do now is just make it clear that the young guy that's sitting next to Polite being questioned by Sonetta about the gay parade and where they be marching, he sat up there and just told a bold-faced lie time he ain't heard about nothing like that. He can't speak on them. But if you look at the screen, you can look at the front. I did a video. I took a clip from their headquarters where it said Dr. York tells Nuwaubians to support the LGBT community movement. And Sonetta did a show with what you seen a clip earlier where they was being questioned about that and how they are trying to justify getting involved with the movement. Again, when you say you get involved with a movement, that's more than support of a person's right to be who they are. You're going too far. That's their movement. That means what they into, that's what you with. If York told them to get involved with Crips and Bloods movement, that means you're supporting the activities of that movement. So you can't say I'm in here to support your right to be who you are, but I don't support the activities. That makes no sense. You can't separate it, because being a homosexual means what they do. Their activities are included. There's no separation. But again, this is the mind sex that they try to have with you in the negative and try to fool you and trick your mentality to thinking that it means something totally different. So again, seek out my YouTube and look at these videos, and you'll see that York has always been sprinkling this stuff in his information. So the brother is definitely telling a lie. He's in New York. Everybody that's somewhat serious or who knows anything knows that the Brooklyn bookstore is the headquarters where York started at or got big at, and that's where they go to get they answers from and this, that, and the third. So he telling a lie about that. I find it interesting that Polite is sitting here next to a Nuwaubian after the things that he said. But again, like I said before, the criminal always return to the scene of the crime, and the chickens is coming home to roost. So now that this thing is getting bigger and bigger, now the questions are coming out when it's obviously that York is guilty of those crimes, and talking to a bunch of flunkies and followers, they'll do whatever he tell them to do if the spirits is that powerful enough to control that person or person to do these things. So let's go back into the interview and see if we can pick out some more lies.
At the end of the day, though, we don't discriminate, because it's like basically when I was watching the show, it's like if you got a family member and they a funny money individual or something, they on some gay stuff, you don't stop being cool with your family member because that's their way of life. It's like that's your family regardless of what. You might not agree with it, but it's different from a family member as opposed to just a friend or something like that,
So are you telling me that if you can't beat them, join them? Is that what you're saying?
Good question.
Instead of supporting them,
good question,
you ain't got to support them to still be a family member. Because I have family. I have a family member that's gay in my family. I love them to death, but I don't support your way of lifestyle. You're not going to catch me in your damn parade. You're not going to catch me holding no rainbow flag because you're a family member. I'm saying, should that be the way of the Nuwaubians, being that y'all supposed to represent consciousness and rate and elevate our people? I really don't think that that's coming from Dr. York, but Prince said it is. So, hey, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. And I'm just saying, so should we, can't beat them, join them? That's what you're telling me?
I'm only telling you what I'm telling you in my perspective. That's about it. All I'm saying is that at the end of the day, I don't condone homosexuality at all, because that's anti-life. You know what I'm saying? Because it takes a man and a woman to create children. I mean, so me personally, I don't condone that at all whatsoever. I mean, long as they don't come at me no kind of way, they ain't got it, you know what I'm saying, deal with me on a physical level or whatever. But other than that, I don't deal with them. So, like, really, it's really nothing to me, you know what I mean? But if a family member is a family member, I'm not saying, yo, go be that way or whatever the case may be. But I'm just saying at the end of the day, I'm not going to lose my love for them, because I know before they whatever caused them to be that way, we was already related, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
I don't think you're answering the question.
I am answering it though, bro. At the end of the day,
the question is,
You're playing games, son. Listen, we're born batty boy regular. We're not boom bye, we're not no like ease up talk. I don't care if my family, I don't care, because listen, no chichi man, batty boy for that. Listen, you know what I'm saying? If you know somebody and they abuse a child, right? Because you know their state's trying to legalize pedophilia right now in America. So for the Nuwaubians now to support it, not saying that you, because you clearly said you don't know nothing about it, you ignorant. So I'm not saying you, but if Prince York, we need to have a conversation. Because if you support this batiology shit, because that's what I call them niggas. You know them Hebrew niggas that talk about Egypt and gay? I call them batiologists. That's what they are. They're specialists in gay conversations. Now, these folks, if the Nuwaubians support it, we got to kick them out of the community. I'm sorry, bro. I know you're part of the group. I love you. You know I love you. But we got to kick them out of the community. We don't need that. We don't need that at all. And people might say, oh, but my cousin is gay. Fuck all of that. It ain't got nothing to do with that, because now we are following the patterns now of this government. It's what white supremacy does. They do little things. They give you all these little rights. Remember, the Jews were mistreated in this country too, to a certain extent. I'm talking about the Caucasian Jew, because they didn't have the rights. So they supported who? Martin Luther King. That's right. Because they wanted the rights that he get. That's right. To go for them, so they could step in and do things. Now they're congressmen, now they this, now they that. So now the community, the gay community, is going to support people. They're going to support certain black people. So maybe they cut a deal with the Nuwaubians that we don't know behind the scenes. I don't know. Money is buying things a lot lately.
But I tell you this: if before you could go to the Nuwaubians, you got to go to everybody in the Black conscious community that was chanting Black Lives Matter, because Black Lives Matter.
Now, I want y'all to pay attention for what's going on here right now. I want y'all to pay attention here. Let me say this. Let me say this to everybody that's watching on Facebook, on YouTube. I want to say this right now. We got to do better. We got to do better. And you see, you notice you have people in that community talking about conspiracies, and they're not talking about the social engineering that's going on against not social engineering. I should say, what's the word? The socioeconomic problems that we have. The socio part is the fact that on a daily basis, we have things coming at us as a community. If you promote homosexuality, And then we say, oh, but everybody has the right to choose who they want to be. Well, I don't want to be around that. I don't want that for my community. What's wrong with me saying that? The white Jews say it, although they got Jews who are homosexuals, but you don't see they promoting the shit like the way it's promoted in the black community. You ain't got to worry about that. They have an agenda, family. Because if you promote two men being together and women saying, hey, I could get my homegirl with a strap on to do what the nigga doing because he ain't taking care of you anyway. With all of that's going on, family, how is it we're going to continue to grow as a culture when you have white folks who are gay adopting black children? This is what you see, people talk about conspiracies, but they don't see what's going on in our communities. It ain't got nothing to do with no God. It ain't got nothing to do with no Allah, Yahweh. It ain't got nothing to do with no religion. It has to do with what nature shows us to do. Opposites attract. A man and a woman attract each other. But we grew up in a culture, I'm telling you, when I grew up in Jamaica family, certain things I didn't even know about. And the women are wrong too. Because we as brothers, and I said it yesterday in the live stream, we support women with women. Talking about how we want threesomes and all this stuff. And let me tell y'all something, sisters. Anytime a brother come to you about he want a threesome, tell him, say, you want a threesome too. How about an extra man to our household? You see how quick he changes his mind. You never hear the woman say, yeah, let's do it with two guys. What about two guys? You and a guy with me. It's always, yeah, let's do a threesome. Me and two women. We are nasty ass selves. And then y'all talk about y'all woke or y'all progressive. Y'all is the problem. Y'all allow this bullshit. You who's watching, I'm talking to you. You allow it and say, oh, that's just him. What about your culture? You don't believe in your culture? So what the, hey, don't even listen to Garfield no more. Don't listen to Garfield no more. If you support homosexuality coming into our culture, don't watch Garfield no more. I don't want to be associated with you. I don't want your energy near me. Period. I don't want your money. I don't want nothing. Don't call Garfield phone for nothing. Don't watch my channel. You see, that's the thing. Like, oh, but these people, they got the money. And no. Born back to boy, morning, noon, and night. I'm not change. I'm not changing. No amount of money, nothing. I love my culture. And if you're doing it for the culture, if you're doing something that's against the culture, show me right now. Let me ask y'all this. And Chuck Margaret is in the audience on Facebook saying that Dr. York did both threesomes with guys and girls. Wow. Show me an African culture. Show me an ancient American culture. Well, actually, Peru and the Mayan culture, for all those aboriginals out there, they were homosexual cultures. They accepted it, and it's in their iconography. It's in their statues. They have tons of statues with men giving men heads and all that stuff. So if you support your Aboriginal, make sure you remember that the Peruvian and the Mayan culture was homosexual. Just remember that for those who claim Aboriginals. But I'm going to say this clear. I don't want no part of anybody who's a homosexual. I don't want to be a part. You're part of my culture. Get your life right. Get yourself right. Because some of us didn't even know what homosexuality is until we started seeing it on TV. TV what screwed us up. Media screwed us up. Oh, baby, come on, man. Come on, you married for 10 years. You want, oh, baby, what about trying a threesome? Where you get that shit from? Who taught you that? Let me tell you something, man. Media is one of the worst things that ever happened to us. YouTube, one of the worst things. If it was for YouTube, y'all probably wouldn't have known me. Or Facebook. Thank you for that. But the behavior and Minister Farrakhan used to say we're morally bankrupt. We are sick. And there's no, oh, but what if your cousin is? Listen, man, I don't care who it is. I'm standing on righteousness. Period. I'm not standing for nothing else. This is the only thing I can agree with these crazy ass Hebrew Israelites about. The only thing I'm 100% with them in. This type of behavior and this type of lifestyle is about minimizing your population, and it's about doing what? It's about damaging the moral fiber of your culture. The Jewish community don't have this problem. they don't have this problem. Sometimes, and a matter of fact, if you go to Iraq right now, and I'm not saying, what if Saddam Hussein was a closet homosexual or Libyan Gaddafi? I'm saying he could not publicly be a homosexual in Iraq. Some of us here, I heard Minister Farrakhan say this one day. He said, we can't live in these countries because we claim we want to live right, but we couldn't live in those countries for even a week. We'd have probably been locked up or killed. Our culture is more, listen, man, this is sickness. But what about they say that the people is born? Listen, family, and this is why I'm gonna pull God into this right now. If someone is born gay, why would God allow you to be born against his will? Let me repeat that. If your God is really true, why would he allow someone to be born gay? I'm telling you. Now, bear in mind though, there's always a little booty scratcher or some Rumpelpinskin type of shit going on in every single culture. You're gonna find somebody that's doing something abnormal, but it's always hidden because they know the public and the country, the culture don't approve of it. So I'm not gonna say there was no homosexuals in Europe. I'm not gonna say there was no homosexuals in Asia. I'm not gonna say there was no homosexuals in Africa. I'm not gonna say there's no homosexuals in the Americas. I'm telling you, there's probably people hiding right now who's listening, who's like, I ain't gonna mess with Garfield no more, man, because he messing up with my lifestyle. I do it, but I do it in secret. I'm telling you, family, don't let these people destroy our community. Well, listen to this now.
Has used our civil rights disposition as leverage to gain more momentum so they can be more freely able to advance their culture and community. All you gotta do is go to Black Lives Matter website and you can see what their goals and their agenda is. And as far as making sure we can appreciate same gender relationships and understand, and I'm paraphrasing, but you could go to Black Lives Matter website. And I done did a lecture on this in Baltimore to the point I want to communicate with the founders, you know what I'm saying? Because I get love from every place. And I'm with my brother, you know, you family regardless. I can't separate myself from a people genetically that I have an affinity to. But I can physically separate myself from you based on your actions. Now, I may not be in a space no more where I condemn and castigate people for their sexual preference, because part of that is the insecurity within yourself. So I'm not as zealous as I used to be. I used to see people and just be like, man, oh my gosh. Now it's just like, you know what? It is what it is. You know, I'm a polygynous man. It doesn't enrage me like that. I mean, sometimes I feel a way when it depends on the race of the person. You know, if I see a sister or a brother in a situation and it's just like kind of right there in front of me, you know, I feel a way. I'm polygynous, so I'd be like, damn, you know, I feel like what I'm doing is right, but I'm not overzealous like I used to be. But if before we can see Nuwaubians, right, we're gonna have to see everybody in the community that got mad at me when I said I'm not for Black Lives Matter, when they wearing the shirts and regalias and the hats. And I'm like, I had to do the lecture before people left me alone. You feel what I'm saying? So much so that the members of that community asked me to fall back from doing all. King Simon would tell you, because my lecture was impactful. You feel me? And then brothers in the conscious community who posted my lectures took it down. And it was on fire. I'm talking 50,000 views in like 12 hours. And it was taken down in 3 days. And I was also contacted, you know what I'm saying? And I did apologize for saying certain inflammatory statements in my anger. But I did not apologize for teaching the truth. And that's something that people had to know. Because people think I apologize for teaching the truth. I never apologize, and I'll do it again. You know what I'm saying?
So now, Polite, let me ask you this. Hold on, brother. Hold on. Hold your hand out, brother. Take a look at that ring, brother. Take a look at your crown you got on, brother. You know what you got on your crown? Look at the symbols you got. I would say if you're going to participate in that parade, go normal. Don't wear our sacred symbols. Don't get us, nah, hold on. You gotta let me. I want you to go in. Go in.
I got a phrase I coined where I say anything in the human mind that you can think of as doable is being done. So that lets you understand everything within human nature. You know what I'm saying? So it's various reasons why people go that route that they go. I don't agree to it, but it's very reasons that they go that route, you know what I mean? And whatnot. You know what I'm saying? You understand that.
You ask wise with wisdom, stuff, when you ask wise with wisdom, you don't get upset. Now, I'm not saying it's a sickness, right? But I just want you to see this. If a person got cancer, right? By whatever means that they got cancer, are we gonna beat them up because they got cancer? No, we gotta heal them or we could treat them. Some stuff we ain't got the cure yet, so we just gonna give you the best treatment to prolong your death, not your life. You take what I'm saying? So we don't go around kicking people because they got diabetes or cancer, right? So that's why I don't go around kicking people who homosexuals and lesbians, because it's the same way. I believe. Nah, I ain't miss your question. No, wait. I just want you to hear, because I'm supporting what my brother's saying. I'm supporting my brother here, and the matter of fact is this, because I hear where he's standing, so I'm not even going to act like I don't understand what he's saying. I'm walking with him, and this is still our family at the end of the day, And if the goal is, if I see my family member deviating from the path, am I supposed to cut them off so much so that the line of communication is gone? Where's the education? If I feel like I'm standing on truth. You feel what I'm saying? There got to be forums or opportunities where we can communicate, we can build with family members that we think deviated. If we say just completely, bun, chichi and all that, if we do all of that, I'm coming right now. If we do all of that, then where is the gate or the door? Because I don't know, we family first, right? Are we family first or are we sexual preferences first? You feel what I'm saying? Now, me, again, I'm a polygamous man, but I gotta also be able to be strong enough to stand on my truth, because I know people gonna want to pervert my disposition because they're insecure. Because the first thing that a brother do when he disagree with your scholarship, oh, he's a faggot. Oh, he ain't. Yo, take that penis out of your mouth. This is what so-called straight men do whenever they mad at scholars. You see what I'm saying? So we know it's some violent homosexuality transpiring in many so-called heterosexuals in the community, because I don't divert my attention to homosexual thoughts whenever I disagree with a man. You know what I'm saying?
Quick second. Hold on. Quick second. I want to say it. All right. I'm gonna put it to where
hands out, but nothing else does. You got it. So I keep on straight. I'm gonna tell you where to turn it.
Right, I agree, Captain. Now let me ask you.
And you know what?
You do know. Hold on. For y'all two Hebrews that's on the line, you do know that the New Wabians is not Kemetic. Right or wrong, Captain?
I don't know shit about them not being Kemetic.
Come on, man. You know that, man. You already getting your plan ready, trying to tie that shit to us. Man, I can see y'all right now, man, tying that to us, man. Come on.
Now, you know what, though, so it ain't even necessary about tying into y'all, us bringing up like anybody, somebody can take the shield of David, myself and y'all aware, and a homosexual could put it on and rock it. That don't now make him an Israelite just because he got it. You understand? But y'all do allow them in your conscious community, though. You allow York on your platform. Like, in real talk, York couldn't be on my platform again because they support the LBGT. Like, that's how you separate. If you want us to believe that they ain't got nothing to do with Kemetic, then he got to be kicked the fuck out of that group, out of that organization. Off of your channel, because he supports gays.
I disagree with you. Captain.
Okay, I don't have a problem with you disagreeing.
I will interview a gay man. And I will interview him and ask him some questions. So that don't mean that I'm gay. Brother, listen to me, Captain. Listen. What is about you being gay? But who am I? What is my media, Captain? No, but what do I do? What do I do?
You're a news reporter.
Thank you.
You're a news reporter.
Thank you, man.
I got you. No sweat. But here's the difference between you, the news reporter, and the average news reporter. We can control the narrative way greater and raise the bar to what we'll accept and what we won't accept. So if you want to be separate from the Nubians and you know they support gays, when you go into the LBGT or the station and raping and stuff that is taking place in that lifestyle, then you can't support them. It's just that simple. Otherwise, you're saying that interviewing York is more important than the victims that have suffered at the hands of predators that exist in that LBGT, the pederasty that comes from that, Otherwise, you're saying you're down with that too, and then I can lump the Nubians with y'all. Like, for example, I'm gonna give you an example. We disavow GMS. Like, you see me and Daniel on the phone together. I rap with this brother too. He's in a totally different organization from mine. But I disavow myself from an organization like GMS because they endorse rape. So now, how can I say I'm not affiliated with them, but I chill with them, I hang with them, I interview with them? I can't. The only way that I can show the people that I don't approve of rape is to separate myself from an organization like that. So that's the difference. Otherwise, they can join us together.
Right,
Just
but see, Captain, is a difference because I'm the reporter. I'm reporting the news. See, y'all are different. I understand what.
But you also have influence, though, Si. Now you bring them on your Danielle.
Now, I can't let you do that. You know why I can't let you do that? Yes, you are a reporter, but let's not feel like you're not playing Kevin all day. So you know that he's a reporter, you a medic. So he do have a point. Yeah, you got a point.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, you gotta. It's almost like you gotta have a moral compass in your reporting. Your reporting gotta be to a high standard. Okay, y'all support them gays? I can't fuck with y'all because we don't support gays.
But what if I'm asking them questions on that, though? That's what I'm talking about.
I missed the interview. I missed the interview. Old boy that you interviewed tonight, I'm not going to say his name unless he say mine. You know how we do. What was his stance on that? He supports that shit too?
Well, I mean, basically, he was, yeah, I would say, yeah, basically he was saying that.
Anybody that support that shit is gay. I'll say that.
That's my point, right? That's my point. Anytime, and I don't care if dude gets emotional or whatever, we need him to do this all the time. Look, anytime somebody trying to cross over and be mainstream, that's one of the first communities that they accept. That's why the Nation of Islam is doing it. That's why the lobbies is doing it.
Man, hold on, Daniel Allen. That is slander. That is slander, Daniel Allen. You are saying the Nation of Islam is doing it, brother. What is you talking about?
They don't accept homosexuals?
No, brother, they do not support it. They feel the same way you feel. They're not gonna turn their people away. They're gonna.
I don't know about. Hey, so I got this. I'll be the benefit. I'll do some more research, but I would have to agree with Daniel Allen.
Yep.
Nah, brother.
I've heard Farrakhan out of his own mouth say it, man. I remember when me irritated Petey sent me the damn video when he said it.
What'd he say? Captain? What'd he say?
I don't want to misquote him, but he for sure was saying, like they got to be loved to or some shit like that.
But he wasn't talking about by us, brother. He was, come on, man.
He was talking about gays. I wouldn't make this up. I'm telling you.
I remember the video too. That's why I said what I said. I didn't pull it out my ass. That's what I said. We gotta find it.
Hey, Daniel Allen, hold on, Tapman. You gotta say pause when we talk about this subject, Daniel Allen.
I gotta say pause?
Yeah, because you say you ain't pull it out your ass, and you gotta say pause. You gotta say pause because we talking about this subject, bro.
You're right.
Yeah, man.
That's a gigantic pause. Listen, I just want you to understand something. I don't want nobody to be offended. Like, I'm not trying to come at none of these organizations. I'm not trying to come at them for the sake of coming at them.
Right.
What I'm trying to do is highlight the difference. Since she was talking about the Hebrew before Captain and I called up, we're trying to highlight the difference between the way that we approach homosexual issue and the way everybody else approaches. Everybody else approaches it from more or less from the position of, okay, you know what? It's in our community. We got to accept it. We say we don't accept it. We don't accept you as a person. If you are interested in learning this knowledge and repenting, we'll accept you as a person, but we're going to condemn that lifestyle, and you got to change it. You can't be amongst us if you don't change it. And I want to say one last thing, man. I've gone to a few comedic events, and this is not really your fault because you're not the guy that's over these different organizations. But I've been to a few comedic events, brother, and I see people in there with arms claiming to be Kemet and they be lesbians, man. I've seen it. And y'all allow that to go on, and y'all allow it to be up amongst you and stuff like that. That can happen amongst us. That's the difference. That's not happen amongst us.
I think we just have more love for our people than y'all. That's all.
Stop.
I'm sorry. You said that you have more love. I don't understand that statement, because what about us telling a person that they need to change their lifestyle is not love? I don't care. You're dealing with it from an emotional standpoint. I'm dealing with it from a standpoint of being rich, my brother.
I can't listen to these.
All right, True Mr. Cause of Peace in War Times. Before I get out of here, I wanted to address two things that Sarnetta said. One, he said he wouldn't have a problem with homosexuals walking around with a cross, but he would have a problem with homosexuals walking around with an ankh. And so, you know, but if you look at the two videos that I put out, Dr. York Ankh Distortions, those ankhs, they got all homosexual. York corrupted them into homosexual meanings. All you have to do is just go into it, play the video, take notes, and you'll see it full-fledged that is exactly what that is, homosexual emblem. So again, this is what I keep saying, that Sarnetta is a poor journalist, because a real journalist would always make sure to vet and back check and credit and fact check everything before they put anything out, because their credibility depends on it. But because credibility is not really a standard except when they want it to be, and when you sacrifice viewerships and money for PayPal and your Patreon over the people, this is what you get. This how the garbage don't even slip through. It just walks right in, because nobody is actually checking, or Sarnetta is being told about this stuff plenty of times and he's ignoring it. And the other people around here is having mercy and forgiveness and looking at that these people are indeed liars. They have rituals of abusing children and having sex with them called golden children. I got videos on that. Drinking semen as rituals. I have the evidence for that. Put their literature out, and it's consistent, and there's no way anybody with any type of common sense could see this stuff and see that again. And I agree with Tazaria, Prince York, and nobody that's supporting Dr. York's foolishness. Number one, his sexual behavior, which he done interwoven into books and making these dummies feel like it's part of our ancient way of life and all this other stuff and aliens, and he just put all this stuff in there that they're going with it, even if they're not participating in it. So I'm not accusing all Nawapians of being this way. What I am saying is that the spokespeople that he's having on his show support that. And he then invited them over there over and over and over, and ignoring everybody who has said something about it. You can't sit here and say, oh, York is guilty, he doing his time, but we can let the rest know, because they're still following what the cult leader is doing. All you got to do is study any type of cult, and if the leader is still alive, they always have control over his followers and find some kind of way to keep the foolishness going. So, once again, you need to really pay attention and understand that this House of Consciousness is a home to homosexuality and pedophilia group. That's a fact, and too much time have passed about it, and there's no way that he keep bringing these idiots on his show as if they're teaching something factual, and they're not. They're teaching hogwash, they're teaching homosexuality, they're using his platform to promote their cult and Dr. York worship in exchange for a couple of coins. That's all that is. So that means the elder Sarnetta is not taking in consideration of his people and the garbage that he is allowing, especially called Nawapian Nation, which is a bunch of pedophile worshiping, hormone sexual, golden child sexual abusing cult, which we have produced all the facts and the evidence. Again, I told y'all, check with Dr. Ali Muhammad. He can verify. He's seen the documents. This is true. Or go to nawapianism.com. The facts are there. So for this to keep going on and all these people is coming out saying the same thing, again, the damage been done. They should have never been on the platform. And this is not trying to tell somebody how to run a platform. It's trying to tell you right from wrong. And when you keep doing dumbness like this, that's clear two things: you don't know right from wrong, or you don't care. So if it's either or, it's still bad, no matter how it looks. And when somebody keep presenting facts and evidence to a platform that claim that's all they're about is facts and evidence, that also prove deception is what this channel is about over everything else. True Mental College, peace, and wartime.